DJ Sbu Breakfast.
Yeah!
1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Alpesh! Welcome to the DJ Sbu Breakfast!
The concept of your book, you know, talking about the story that we never really talk about, the ups and downs, the tribulations, the trials. Why did you want to pen it with that angle?
I wanted to tell the truth about what really goes on in Africa. I always believe that, you know, we all have dreams, but you know what? The hustle comes at a cost. You can dream for free, but to actually execute on your dream, it comes at a cost. Cost of blood, sweat, money, and tears. And the reality of the game is that in Africa, I wanted to talk about the fact that Africa has been sugar-coated. The African narrative has been sugar-coated. And we need to tell the truth. And that's what I wanted to do. And the timing was right. You know why? Because today I'm free. I am free to tell my story because I don't report to anyone. I sold my business. I have no debt. I'm free. I wake up when I want to wake up. I do my own thing every day. Only when you're free and when you have a self-awareness, a really good sense of self-awareness, then you can take on the world.
Wow.
I mean, why did you get into entrepreneurship, Alpesh?
I think it's in the blood. I think, you know, being the original refugee, I don't know if you know my story, but we were kicked out from Uganda.
Please let us know. Let us know the story.
I'm second generation African Indian. My grandfather moved to Africa in 1895. And basically we were he was very successful. We owned all the Odeon cinema franchises in East Africa. So my original family business is show business, you know. And then Idi Amin took everything away from us. He kicked us out of Uganda. We had 90 days to leave with $100 to our name. And basically we had to start from scratch. And I think the fact today that the East African Asians in the UK are some of the most successful people is because what is taught us is resilience. You know, it's not about the amount of times you get knocked down. You know, it's about the amount of times you get back up. So being in a harsh environment in the UK, which this skin color was not that much appreciated.
Yeah.
We didn't exactly have a red carpet warm welcome. So we were on our own. And when you're on your own, you kind of tend to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you say, hang on a minute, you know what? There is more to life than just trying to make pennies, even though you start making pennies first. And what brought out my first hustle was the fact that in the UK back in the days, if you get to university, the university pays you £700 for every term. So I was getting paid to get educated. That was a hustle. I had to get that because I was going to get a degree and they pay me, right?
Yeah.
But I used that money, and my first entrepreneurial venture was going to Morocco and buying leather goods. And I'm not proud of it now, but I bought all the fake Louis Vuitton bags.
Yeah, and selling them.
And I sold them to all the rich Nigerians in university.
Now you are self-published. Tell us about some of the challenges that you faced as a self-published author.
You know what? This time last year, I didn't know I was going to put pen to paper. I wrote this book, 95,000 words, God's honest truth. I wrote this book in 6 weeks.
Wow.
350-page manuscript just flowed out of me. Because the truth, whether we like it or not, guys, the truth is always going to come knocking on your door.
Yes.
Right? And the reason people say, you know, how did you do it so fast? And I'm like, because when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
Yes,
right?
You've lived it.
You just live it. It just pours out. So when it poured out, I'm like, it poured out in such a narrative. So my book I'm not a writer. I'm a storyteller. When you read the book, it's more about you and me having a dinner conversation.
Wow.
You know? Obviously with a bottle of wine. Because my talk is very raw. There is expletives. I'm not gonna apologize for that. I talk as if I'm speaking with you now. And I think that's what gets the message across. So I decided to go self-published purely and simply because I always believe as an entrepreneur that you've got to have your own skin in the game. You have to bring your dream to what we call a beta concept. You have to have proof of concept before people themselves start believing in you. You've got to believe in yourself first. And so I went through the whole process of writing this book, and in the last 4 months I've edited it, typesetted it, did the cover. I used a lot of experts all over the world to help me put this together. And really today I have a product. And we've sold quite a few 100 copies already in the last 2 weeks. We're getting very, very good reviews on Amazon. And my South African marketing and PR is starting now. We're working with the likes of Farah Fortune.
She's fabulous.
She is.
And we're going to get our contacts
We love
at
her.
CNN Exclusive Books, getting him into those platforms.
Yeah, so we're talking to a couple of book distributors here.
Okay.
And I think it'll be available in South Africa in about 6 weeks' time.
Okay.
But really right now, it's more about, really for me, I'm spending a lot of time in Europe and the US because the people there need to know about this kind of story. Not because it's my story, but it's one of our stories.